Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it...
You mean since you became a lord and let...
I am as prone to sentimentality. You too have a history. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. But I can't keep running forever.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the...
Hey, Alvin, listen to this! So Law and I were...
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the...
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renin technology.
Oh, that's a good point. If you...
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you...
We'll be going to Lenegus soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts. What was life on Lenegus like back then? You know, before...
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns, they called it treatment. But in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for...
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All day in and day out. Every single day. One test, the look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched. I thought things couldn't get any worse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery... Sure, I survived, but that's when it hit me.
I'm sorry. You say it's... That's exactly... Why should you... It's that lot. This struggle, if we're doing...
A world...
Not just if we're going to... Now I see it.
A victory without...
You bet we can pull it off.
Yeah. We can do this.
You okay? Feeling air?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all.
Glad to hear it. That device there cut your...
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't... Alphen?
No, Naori laid...
So, you're saying you...
Yes. It sounds crazy.
That's definitely quite...
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, Alphen, can...
Of course.
Even in that time, I'll always remember, the world's... If I've learned and the one...
Well, we're...
I know.
Kisara.
Probably getting...
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparation.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when...
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't
Very well. First and foremost, Of course, its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy.
Enough to determine someone's...
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak-ass... Still, even the lowest rung on the Renin ladder is considered...
Thanks for the warning.
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to...
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who's...
Jeez, give backhanded...
Wait a second. Are you?
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary, as if such simplistic...
So this red woman, are we...
I would wager some... Chances are she's also connected.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit...
That red woman's got...
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourself.
If there are clues about your thorns out there...
Lenegus's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown...
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody.
So now what? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too.
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the...
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know. Hence my... In any case, changing the...
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, then the Renis Alma hiding something of that...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds.
Indeed.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her...
All right. It's not like... Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renins. The capital city where Shion and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side?
What in the world?
This being Renin territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What...
When Lenegus changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live.
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have...
Dohalim? Is that...
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you...
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Someone you know...
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happening?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundation... We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone.
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home, let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed.
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine.
So who's Faria?
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's...
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danins poking their...
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two. The Danins among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this is all. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior to... We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First, Lenegis mutates beyond... The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall...
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Your lord, I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen...
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine...
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see...
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. What?
Never mind. Forget I asked. So is everything okay? You look a little lost.
Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last...
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if...
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime,
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for some...
our lot in life is of little consequence.
Oh, why, yeah.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't...
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here.
Not to this extent.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem...
Yeah, that one guy even said his...
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them,
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about.
the Sovereign, of course. He rules from...
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirt, that's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over.
The points you make are valid, though I can come to think of it. I know... Shion, have you ever been...
No,
Neither have I. In which case,
Hold up, what are you getting at, Dohalim?
assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible...
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly.
But I thought you said that the Sovereigns... What if something were to happen to the city? Like now...
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this sovereign is. But sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renin ruler.
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits thereafter. As for how Volron factors into all...
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign. 300 years later, we cross paths. That's not the only thing we have in common.
Do you think Volron was made sovereign for the same reason? Because...
I can't say for sure.
But that would mean that 2 sovereigns would need to We never did see Volron's body back in Ganeth Heros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma.
there's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden.
Questions, questions, and yet more questions.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off-limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start.
Then it's decided.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. Let's go find it.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, their sovereigns up on the Renin homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord.
Only current acting lords have power. Renin society is...
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to...
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis. Balsif? Ganabelt? Now that I think of it...
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to
I know. But seeing Red...
It feels strange to imagine the Lord...
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring? Every lord in their household has their share of... And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana.
Yes! Yes!
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
Hmm?
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
What? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ganabelt was so horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed, the effects of Lenegis's transformation appear to be less pronounced here.
Pardon me.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any level came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right, too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Ridiculous. Okay. Ah!
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganeth Heros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently.
Yeah, despite the brutality.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, but their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what...
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to...
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than...
So, Alphen, have you
Yeah. I think it's made me realize Balsif and the others.
Yeah, but still, just because they had...
I know. What they did was horrible. But at the same time, they weren't. So I guess what I'm trying to say...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renin, even if they did terrible things?
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Danon doesn't make you a good person. I think that's something we've all seen.
Shion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for...
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I...
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, in which case the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
Hanfrecht Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia?
So then this Han-freaked whatchamacallem, he's the current...
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually...
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never...
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting
And that never struck you as a little...
When you live...
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created. In other words, if that's true...
True, but going on what... If even the...
You and me both. Though we...
with any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some...
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir...
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a...
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be...
Dohalim! What the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, my sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do.
Sure, that's it. Run away like you're just a coward!
On se fait maltraiter déjà ce matin.
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about...
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you meant...
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you...
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure I have no intention of expiring before I do so. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does. Forgive me. Some things are best...
What's this thing?
Ceci, c'est pour les détails.
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renans sure know how to live it up, don't they?
It is something that...
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, Avakir, Faria, and
Tarnigan. He was the one that...
He was once my dearest, closest friend. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous entranced by her playing. I helped her overcome. It was a time of great joy. 4 people...
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a...
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea... Besides, it was that way of...
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the... And even then, it only lasted until the crown... Tarnigan had fallen for Faria, by becoming... But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnigan was no match for me in combat. On a level, but he was desperate.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right?
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch?
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. As for what happened after...
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now.
Shion's right. What other Lord? You've saved so many people. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden...
Frank as always, but I shall do my best to heed.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough.
I hope you're right. Finn.
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe. But I still wanted to say thank you.
Good. This came out just...
Damn it. Lenegis soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Host, I am Lord Dohalim of Elda Menencia. I command you.
The rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one. An astral art?
That's my cue.
Pierce evil!
Shut him down! Sever and Wing! It's on us! Be my guest! Eat dirt! Swallow blade! I have no limits! Swallow blade!
Now you see what I can do!
Swallow blade! You picked the wrong fight!
Water! Here I go!
Swallow blade! Swallow blade!
Laser spear! Pierce evil! Charge! Sweet dreams! Annihilation! This one! Eagle assault! I never miss! This world!
Ready and ready! Now you see what I can do!
Frozen!
Hammer!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's
Indeed. They seem to recognize us, and yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats.
Their glazed over eyes?
I've never seen...
Maybe someone does.
What with the red...
I don't know when it happened, but we sure are hauling a lot.
I was just thinking the exact same thing.
We should probably...
No way. Those are still good as...
But that arm...
Well, what about all
Simpleton.
pretty art?
Stop it, you got... All I really... Oh.
My deepest...
Yeah.
I guess I'll...
Yeah.
Forgive you!
Sever and Wing! Ignite! First strike! Rising Falcon! Swallow blade! I owe you one.
These ones can run rings around us!
Leave the charges to me!
Air thrust!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and the pummeling to me!
Swallow blade!
Thunder field! Raging cascade!
Rising
In here!
Falcon!
I'll be saving poor ones!
Swallow blade!
Here goes! More lemonade! Here goes!
Swallow blade!
Tempest!
Swallow blade!
Flight!
Slash!
Ready and
Swallow
ready!
blade!
I can carve through! I'll finish you here and now!
Swallow blade!
I'm on it!
Ignite!
Let the marksman handle
Slash!
this!
Burn! Swallow blade! Slash!
Here, let me help!
Now I'm real mad!
Swallow blade! Swallow blade! First strike!
Glacial spear! Pierce evil! Lightning
Swallow blade!
Freeze thunder! Illuminate this! Who wants to die next?
Swallow blade!
There you are! Annihilation!
Swallow
Here!
blade!
Flame of burning! Lightning condemned!
Watch this!
Illuminate the
Swallow blade!
Come forward! Holy field!
Rising Falcon!
Eat this!
Mega ray!
Swallow blade! First strike! Slash! Talon
Raging
Swallow blade!
spear! Now!
Take slash!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
dispose of the trash.
Can't get out of this! I'll smash you! I'm going in!
Where are you going?
Eat this bloody holiday! Locked and loaded! Swallow blade! Swallow blade! Release! Damn it! Too fast! Stand back! I'll trip it up! Swallow blade!
Healing
Swallow blade! Bloody holiday!
Need to pull myself together. Back into the fray.
Swallow blade!
Searing flame. Reload.
Severing wind!
The enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that.
In a bind!
Anything in armor.
Swallow blade! Like steel!
Astral energy.
Say no more.
Swallow blade! Fire support! Ignite! Swallow blade! Swallow blade! Dare you apply!
Astral energy.
Say no more.
I know fine weapon material when I... see it.
What's with that shining foe over there?
I have a bad feeling about this.
Now you'll learn!
Dance on the wind! Swallow blade! Slice! Is it too late to talk over our differences? Swallow blade! Slice! Swallow blade! Take this! Swallow blade! Elusive deity! Slice! Swallow blade! Now you see what I can do! Swallow blade! This one's all mine! Burn! Slice! Swallow blade! Slice! Swallow blade!
Healing circle. Here goes.
I owe you one! Swallow blade! Slice!
Look sharp.
I'll finish you here and now! Swallow blade!
Hear me. Flame of fury.
Slice!
Swallow
blade!
Here's
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
If it's in the sky, it's mine.
Eat dirt!
Here's a healing art.
Swallow blade!
Where are you going?
Slice! Swallow blade! I'm on it! Slice! Swallow blade! Swallow blade!
Do it.
Slice! Eagle dive! Swallow blade! Anything in armor is all mine!
Astral energy.
Say no more.
I feel sprightlier than before.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden Zone?
No further! Swallow blade! Slice! I can carve through armor! Slice!
The normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Swallow blade! Slice! I'll finish you here and now! Swallow blade! Slice! Swallow blade! Slice! Swallow blade! Rip and tear! Down on the ground! Here and now! Ignite! Does it hurt? Big time! I'll blow you away! Pass on the wing! Burning slide! Now you see what I can do! There! Blow away! Rising water! Heal!
That'll bring you down.
Big flash! Blow away!
Lunar blast.
Hammer! Soaring blast! Demon fang! Blow away!
Healing
Lost my focus! Prepare to be seized! blast! Lightning! Blow away! Big blast! Not good! I'm just eat dirt! Big blast! Blow away! Mega Sonic Thrust! Big blast! Sonic Thrust! Blow away! Destruction! Now I'm in the groove! Take this!
Let me help.
Big blast! Blow away!
Tempest
Steel! Blow away!
Lightning
Here I come! Big blast!
Blow
away!
I don't even know the word defeat.
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you! Blow away!
That'll bring you down.
Mega blast! Blow away! Sword Lane Alpha! Big blast! Blow away!
Watch this.
Lunar corruption! By the power
Blow
of
away! Sword Lane Alpha! Big blast!
Damn it!
Blow away! Double Demon Fang! Thanks! Big blast!
Illuminate the sun!
On a roll now! Rising Riser! It's go time!
Armor won't save you.
Power of water!
Blow away! You're mine!
Here's a healer!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Blow away!
To the fray!
Big blast!
Tempest whirl!
Blow away! Alpha! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger ready!
There's always room for improvement.
Courteous solitude.
I see one, eh?
Last one out gets eaten alive. A showdown between blade and fist.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Bon, on va voir. Ouh. Oula.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Je crois que ça va être encore être un labyrinthe.
Alphen.
Oh, le truc vert jaune. Ah non.
You again.
D'accord.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for. let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone...
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris.
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a...
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? Past?
Oui, salut. Ça va les gars? Ça va les gars? Pardon les gars. Oui. Ah, tu joues à Diablo? Est-ce qu'il est bien? Ah, tu peux jouer à plusieurs, je crois, non? Ah. C'est un bon RPG, quoi.
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
On les aime, quoi.
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you...
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Ah bah, tu m'étonnes.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Ça dépend sur quelle console que tu es, mais ça doit jouer, quoi.
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those.
Ah oui, bah alors les graphiques, ils sont super bien.
Reliving painful episodes from...
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was...
Alphen.
That's not all. I'd like to liberate them too, if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect. They're all... Not that I'm complaining.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no...
Oui. Je suis un habitué.
Telling what could happen.
Il y a celui-là, parce qu'il y a celui-là, et puis il y en a un autre qui sort, là, le 30 aussi, un autre jeu de rôle aussi, qui sera pas mal aussi. Alors j'hésite entre les deux, mais je peux pas prendre les deux, je peux pas tout ça en même temps. Oui, je connais, j'avais fait le premier. Je suis un autre qui sort le 30, c'est un autre jeu de rôle, c'est... comment il s'appelle le jeu? C'est un mec, faut qu'il sauve sa famille, c'est un samouraï. Il sauve sa famille et tout. Il a pas l'air d'être mal aussi. Oh putain, je tombe sur un boss là. Alors j'hésite entre les... Oui, je crois qu'il est à 50 balles en plus, il est pas cher, je crois. Oh. Ah oui. Je vais voir, je sais pas, j'hésite entre les deux, parce qu'il faut d'abord que je finisse celui-là déjà. On est des fans de RPG, nous, quand même.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
Ouais, je sais que j'ai mon gars qui m'a dit, lui, il l'a pris.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
Je vais voir, je me tâte entre les deux, je sais pas. Oh boy. Okay.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when...
We can talk later. Here it comes.
I've never known Faria to control Zoogles like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master core?
What the? Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handle the Zoogles, then we get some answers.
Exploit the enemy's weakness.
Smash you! Yours to be let...
I'll stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara.
Ouais, c'est des jeux qui sont longs, hein.
Ready!
Ah bon? Ah, il faudrait que je...
Lunar corruption! Lunar blast!
I'll tear you apart! Now I'm
Here's a healing arc!
Swallow blade!
First aid!
Take that! One more! Down on the ground! And here's the heal blade! Swallow blade! I can carve through armor! Down on the ground! Take this! Swallow blade!
Moi, j'espère qu'il y a des transports rapides, hein, parce que...
It was nice while it lasted. Swallow blade! Slice!
Searing blade!
Ah, c'est difficile du jeu, hein.
Swallow blade! Not today!
Back into the fray!
Slice!
Annihilation! Radiant hero!
I'm just getting started! Tornado drive!
Here's the evil!
Swallow blade! Slice! Now you see what I can do! Swallow blade! Penumbra! I'm on!
Ça manquait ces jeux-là sur Microsoft, ça manquait parce que c'était toujours sur PS4. Sur Microsoft, ça manquait pas. Et ils en mettent plus.
Swallow blade! In a bind, slash! Swallow blade! Slash! Swallow blade!
Ah oui, ça
Hey, you okay? I can still do this!
Oh putain.
Stay away from my friends!
Attends. Remède. Ça me donne quoi ça? Air se restaure. Oh. Ah ouais, mais c'est pas l'intérêt quand tu joues à plusieurs dessus, c'est pas l'intérêt. C'est pour ça qu'on joue avec des Français, c'est plus tu joues avec des...
I have no limits!
Need to pull myself together.
Swallow blade! I'll take you! Swallow blade!
L'intérêt c'est de jouer avec des Français, parce que quand tu joues avec des étrangers, les mecs ils pensent qu'à leur gueule, ils avancent,
Sorry,
You do the same for me.
Swallow blade! Dragon kill! Swallow blade! Attack time! Swallow blade! Down on the ground! First strike!
Healing circle.
I owe you one!
Hear my call.
Can't move!
Here's the evil.
This is my fault.
Freeze laser.
Not done yet! No further!
Lunar corruption.
Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down.
Swallow blade! Severing wind!
Annihilation.
Do it! Heal! Remove!
Astral energy.
Say no more!
Bah c'est ça le problème.
Can you take it?
Pour ça, il vaut mieux chercher des Français, des fois qui font le même, parce qu'ils doivent aller faire.
Swallow blade!
Oui, voilà.
Swallow blade!
Try to dodge.
Ignite! Inspiration! Finest! You'll pay for that! I owe you one. Imbue this vanquished soul with love. Resuscitation!
Glacial spear. Here. See.
Calme. Résurrection. Non. Je le somme.
Ready to go.
Stalagmite! Rising Falcon! First strike! Slash!
Healing
Swallow
circle.
blade!
Radiant kill.
Ah l'enfoiré.
I'm on it! I felt fine not too long ago.
Here's a healing art. First aid.
Severing wind!
Here's the evil.
Calme. Ça donne quoi? 2800?
Take this! I'm on it! Catapult!
Denied.
Storm!
Annihilation. Mega ray. Powered hurricane. This is in the That'll bring you down. How about this?
I'm on it! Sword Ray Alpha!
How dare you?
What here?
Time to shine.
I've let you all down.
Come on, sweet. You have to hold on. This one's
Swallow
mine.
blade! Severing wind!
Illuminate the dark.
Rising Falcon!
Holy
Swallow blade!
Illuminate the dark. Come forward. Holy
Flame inside me yearns to be let free! Swallow blade!
Lightning.
Eat dirt!
Light astrolate. Lightning condemned.
Time to shine! Swallow blade!
Illuminate the dark. Come
Slash!
forth.
Swallow
Holy
blade!
Holy land.
I won't lose. Not now, not ever.
Thunder field. Raging cascade. Spread. Dance in the wind. Air thrust.
Swallow blade! Slash!
Here goes.
Ouais, c'est la revue.
Illuminate the dark. Come forth. Holy land. Holy land.
Damn it! No paper!
Ready. Not in your dreams.
No! Can't end here!
Thunder field. Photon. Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glim, holy land!
Ah, merde.
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glimmer, holy land!
I owe you one.
Lightning condemned! Thunderblade!
Armor won't save you!
Severing wind! Rising falcon!
Holy land!
Almost there!
Or close enough. Take it away, Ross.
I thought you'd never ask.
Light astral ladder dance in the wind! Sleep now. More for the stockpile. Where are you going? Mega Ray! There's not enough time to heal everyone!
So what do we do?
Art
Play
Seal!
dead?
Shut up and be more defensive!
In a bind?
Fury! Burning strike! Glacial spear! Here's evil! Freeze Lancer! Ready to go! Here I go! House this! Annihilation! Mega Ray!
Orange.
Inspiration! I could do this all day!
I'll heal you out! Healing circle!
Watch it! I've let you all
Oh
down.
là 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 là.
Spread! Hear me! Flame of fury! Burning strike! Mega Ray! Annihilation! Hear me! Flame of fury! Burning
Prepare
strike!
to be sealed! Can't get out of this! What? From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with love resuscitation!
Not done yet!
Benediction light. From beyond, imbue this vanquished... soul with
A
love.
new lease on life!
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with love resuscitation. Tempest! Not done yet! Reflect some dice. They smite with blackened talon hurricane! Execution! On your knees. Air pressure!
It's not too late to bow out. I'm not looking to get our tails handed to us. That's exactly why.
Talon hurricane! Anything in armor is all mine! Heal! Look shot!
Can't move! I couldn't make it in time.
I'll finish you here and now! From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with love resuscitation! I've let you all down.
Not done yet! This should do it!
It's time! On can't get out of this! Elusive deity! Rotating pile driver! Denied! What?
A screaming day.
Swallow blade! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Swallow blade! Discharge! Negative gate!
This should do it!
Thunder touch! Tempest! Catapult! Ground and pound! Penumbra!
This one's
Can you
mine!
take it? It's in your hands now.
Allez.
Slash! Swallow blade! Slash! Swallow blade! Slash! Swallow blade!
Confiscated!
Slash! Swallow
Wind
blade!
astral and more where that came from!
This should do it!
Wind astral letters illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glim, holy land! Photon illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glim, holy land!
one's all mine! You picked the wrong fight! Swallow Blade!
Raging Storm! Swallow Flight!
This should do it!
Gale Force! Lightning Condense!
Can't move!
Voilà.
Thunder Field! Raging Cascade! Spread! Here goes! I never miss! Radiant Light! Spirit Flame! Radiant Pierce! I'm out of ammo! Healing Circle! Think again! Back into the fray! Back into the fray! Mega Ray! There! One more! Will this help? Healing Circle! Do it! Neon! Astral Energy! Full throttle!
Ouh, bah dis donc, c'est dur, tiens.
Now it's just her! Faria! Can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me.
J'entends les manettes.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here.
In that case...
I'll take her off your hand.
You? Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died.
And you believed me?
On n'a pas un métier facile, hein.
What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know, but...
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. As for Faria, it's all...
You don't seriously
Somebody got to her. And the same goes for you as well. No.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one. As for Tarnigan, but that's why we're fighting.
Indeed. Reading
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear. But those people... Forgiveness, acceptance...
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. Not for those already passed.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right.
That's what living's all about. Punishing yourself for the past...
Only fixing the problem and it's...
That's right. You...
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve.
Shion.
Huh?
Thank you. You have my...
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the... same team, right? Let's move on. What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
Mino, c'est pas marqué est-ce que tu joues, c'est bizarre. Ouais, c'est pas marqué est-ce que tu joues. C'est marqué en ligne, c'est tout. Ouais.
Ah, c'est normal, c'est parce qu'il est sur PC.
Ah.
Je suis pas sur PC.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
Bon, après, je vais aller faire mes courses. Si j'ai du monde à l'apéro tout à l'heure.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than...
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... Like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw...
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us.
That power flowing into her... It reminds me of... Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here. No, more than a link. Perhaps...
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that? If it's...
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral...
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a...
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure.
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
And I think They may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep...
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way. Soon, we might very well learn the truth behind Shion's thorns. I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens. I'm determined to save Shion and Dana. Nothing. Hold up. You guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out. This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised at this point?
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. It might give us a new lead.
I think I can make this work.
Well, can you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records, by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of... A composite being capable of controlling Danon astral energy. The creation of a governing central figure. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign?
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystal. That must be the master cores. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the
About the Lords? Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are... Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from... In other words...
What about the Sovereign? Does it say anything?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so...
What is it? Did you find something?
It's a list of names. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, Alphen.
They re-engineered me. Right here.
Alphen.
It's fine, really.
Test subject number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjust, Volron.
Volron? But that...
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of record.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that...
Upon victory, the Sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over... When a new Sovereign is decided, the output according to these records, there have only... It's all lies. Including the part about the crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler.
But even supposing that's true, someone...
Crown contests have been held this whole time. Meaning that for the past 300 years...
The Red Woman? It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she could be working for someone else. Someone back...
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved.
What about the data records? Is there no other
Not that I can see. Just file upon file. There's nothing here about who's behind all this. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you.
I'll do that.
So this is where Alphen became the Sovereign. And Volron is... Well...